Hello and good evening. This is Grillenheimer. I do have a small confession to make, and that is, this is actually game 4. The last game, I recorded the very end of 2 previous games. One of them accidentally got deleted. I didn't realize it was like near the end of uploading. It was showing 2 of them out there. And when I deleted it, it deleted them both, and I didn't realize it hadn't finished uploading because it didn't say it was doing it. It just said ready to watch. And it looked like there were 2 of them, and dummy me, after doing 70 plus videos, I actually deleted something by accident. So, where's my finger? There's my finger. The first battle, Shockwave won. The second one, Bumblebee, Trusted Lieutenant. Well, actually, that was number 3. This was number 2. That was off-road. Wait a minute, no. 1, 2, 3, then 4. That's right. That was actually fourth one, where Autobot leader Optimus Prime and Hot Rod actually were in a team together that survived the battle. I believe that was the last one that I showed as Battle 2 in error. I do apologize. If I can get that fixed, I will fix that. In the meantime, let's just... This is the last move of this game. And we had... Let's see here. My hand is so shaky. I apologize. I had Air Commander Starscream, Dirge, and Acid Storm. And then on the other side, I had Jazz, I want to call it Combiner Wars Prowl, Little Prowl, or Sentinel Prowl with Red Alert. And the long story short, where'd my cheat sheet go? It was just here. It was, here we go. Pretty much the highlight of the game was when, well, okay, I believe Prowl took out Starscream first, which I thought was a surprise, followed by then Dirge knocked out Prowl, Red Alert took out Dirge, Acid Storm took out Jazz, which left Prowl and Jazz. As you can see, Red Alert, Jazz, came down to Acid Storm and Red Alert. Excuse me. Red Alert is down by 9. Acid Storm is only down by 4 out of a health of 10. Let me get these characters out of the way. And this is not my hand. This is actually, you know, weapon, armor, utility. And, you know, you can use agility of Bumblebee on anybody. Just when it's on Bumblebee, then you can actually draw a card. This is an attack drone, and this is bumpers, put on cars only. Actually tried to get these decks a little where they were a little more idiomatic to the characters. I had my 2 only playing cards added to this deck. But anyway, enough of that. For the most part, Prowl was in play. He had, who of course naturally has 5 attack. He had mounted missiles with the +2, turbo boosters with +1, and then the action card was Press the Advantage, which gave him also +2 to attack as well. Well, let's just put him up here. Here we go. There he is. And the cards just look so cool. And then Starscream was only down by 5 out of his total 13 hit points. So he only needed 8 hit points left to be knocked out. Well, Prowl already had 9 to attack. The battle attack flipped. He had a total of 3 orange. I believe it was a double and a 1, which gave him 10. Wait, 5, 10, 13, excuse me, 13 to attack. Starscream only had 3 blues for defense. Starscream. And as you can see, Starscream only has a defense of 1. He had 2 others. The difference between 13 and 3 is 10, and he got knocked out, which was, that was just a really cool play. It had everything lined up with Prowl. It just happened. But this is pretty much the last part of this game, the last turn, where pretty much it's Acid Storm. Acid Storm is up to play against Red Alert, and of course I don't have any. Red Alert has no bold. None of these upgrades have bold either, so this is kind of a moot point. But it came down to, 2, 1, attack of 3. It's only attack of 3? Yeah, attack of 3 minus Red Alert's only defense of, that's a blue right there, +1, and the blue up here, which is only 2. Which makes him down by 1, which he gets knocked out. That's it. Acid Storm won this round. Coming up, alright, let's see here. Well, I guess I do need a little stick or something. Now, before I move on, I just want to say that I finally got to use this card. Jazz, Acid Storm, and Jazz, Acid Storm, and Red Alert all had the same amount of stars. So I was actually able to use this card. I think he used it on both sides. I think they were in each deck. I know they were on my Decepticon deck, and this actually came in handy, and it was actually on Acid Storm. So, finally got to use this card for a change, enemy combat and analysis. But I'm trying to choose here. I've got, and for now, until I get really closer to the end of this sort of tournament deal, heat, so as you will, I'm still sort of breaking the rule for what was that? The 25-star rule. Well, where if I have 1 or 2 in my deck, I'm not really counting it. It did help my Autobots, but again, they didn't win. So between these 3, Cut, Blur, and Ironhide, maybe against either the Dinobots and Bumblebee, or Kickback, Warpath, and Megatron against maybe one of these 2. I'm not sure, but we're gonna pick a group here and maybe play it through tonight, see what happens, and go from there. I gotta know who my winner was tonight, and right now this is my winner's circle, so to speak. And I just want to end with a little blurb from Mark chapter 10, verse, my progressives are not doing very good, 13, when he let the children come to him, and they were bringing children to him that he might touch them, and the disciples rebuked them. But when Jesus saw it, he was indignant, and said to them, "Let the children come to me, do not hinder them, for to such belongs the kingdom of God. Truly I say to you, whoever does not receive the kingdom of God like a child shall not enter it." and he took them in his arms and blessed them, laying his hands on them. Because that's pretty much what the parents were wanting. And Jesus did not mind. That's part of the gospel right there from the Gospel of Mark. And with that, have a good night. Have a good evening. Thank you for watching. And we're going to just keep going with this until we see what happens. Have a great day, guys.